While many sewing techniques can be done by hand, it's possible to get sewing accessories to make some tasks easier. One of them is the ruffler foot used to create ruffles, pleating, and gathers. This video will give a general overview on this foot. Please note that I'm using a ruffler foot that fits my machine, and not all feet are exactly the same and universal. Yours may vary, but hopefully this video will still be helpful. When do you use this foot? When you need to do a lot of gathering or pleating in order to create ruffles, like when creating your own trim or adding more fullness to fabric. This is what my ruffler foot looks like. It seems big and complicated, but once you figure it out, it's not bad. When adjusting it and trying to get it into place, make sure the needle is in the highest position and the machine is turned off. The presser foot attachment part is here at the retaining pin. It pops into the groove of the holder like with my other presser feet. If yours attaches differently, make sure you choose the correct foot for your machine brand. But this is also not as easy to snap on because you also want to make sure this yoke fits over the needle clamp. I'll place the foot on the machine base with it lined up, making sure the yoke fits over the needle clamp, and then have to push forward to get the groove to fit onto the retaining pin. To make sure it's holding on, lower the presser foot lever and then raise it up. You can do adjustments while the ruffler foot is on your machine, but I'll show you while it's off the machine to make it easier to see. There's a very small needle hole. Only use this foot with a straight stitch. You may need to adjust the needle position, get it close to inside the needle hole as possible. Sometimes, even with changing the needle position, you'll get really close, but it won't fall inside the hole perfectly, and we want to make sure we don't break our needle. We can make adjustments on the foot. On the back, there are two screws. One is the back front adjustment screw, and one is the left right adjustment screw. Loosen the back front screw and then adjust the hole forwards or backwards. When it feels right, tighten the screw to lock it in place. It's the same for the left-right adjustment screw. Loosen the screw, adjust it left and right, and when it's good, tighten it. Again, you want to make these adjustments while your foot is on the machine in order to see if your needle placement is correct. Turn the hand wheel manually to make sure it goes into the needle hole correctly. Next is the space between tucks adjustment lever right here. You can move the projector between the different slots. My slots are 1, 6, 12, and star. Depending on which one you pick, the tuck will happen at a certain number of stitches. There will be a tuck at every stitch at 1, a tuck at every 6 stitches if you choose 6, and a tuck every 12 stitches if you choose 12. Here's what it looks like in those different options. The more tucks, such as 1, the more gathered it looks as opposed to 12. Please note, you'll need to account for more fabric needed if you have more tucks, as this will shrink the final length of fabric. Also note that while there was a star slot, my ruffler foot guide advises not to use it. Last, there's the fullness adjustment screw here. This determines how deep the tuck is. You can see small numbers on the side, and by turning this, the end of the screw will fall on these numbers. The smaller the number, the shallower the tuck depth, and vice versa. Here's an example. The smaller number is more of a slight gathering, while the larger number provides more of a pleat. It depends on what you're going for. It's important to test on scraps of fabric so you can play with the adjustments and get used to working with the foot, getting the look you want. Okay, so the foot is on. How do you get the fabric under it? If you look at the bottom of the foot, you'll see a flat guide blade at the bottom. Above this is an angled blade with teeth at the end. This is the ruffling blade and what moves to create each tuck. Your fabric needs to slide between these two blades. With your single layer fabric faced right side up, put a stiff piece of paper over it and line it up with the edge. The presser foot lever should be raised so the foot is up. Slide the paper and fabric combo at an angle to get it between that guide blade and ruffling blade and straighten it. Once it looks good, hold your fabric with one hand and slide the paper out and then put the presser foot down. The more stable the fabric, the easier it is to do, but you won't be able to use really thick, heavyweight fabric for this. Mid to lightweight works best. If you're using a really unstable fabric like chiffon, consider spraying it with spray starch or using a sticky wash-away stabilizer that you can rinse out once it's ruffled. If you're worried about seam allowance, matching it here will get you a 0.4-inch seam allowance. Here will get you a 0.6-inch seam allowance, and here will get you a 1.4-inch seam allowance. Once you're good to go, meaning the needle is centered to the needle hole, you've selected a straight stitch, you've made your tuck selections, and your fabric is in, you can start sewing. Be sure not to sew too fast, more of a slow to medium speed. You'll see that it'll do a straight stitch, but depending on your tuck adjustment, at certain points, the ruffling blade will move forward, creating a tuck, which will be sewn into place. Just keep sewing until you get to the end of your length. Once finished, make sure to always pull your fabric toward the back of the machine and not forward or to the side in order to take it out and cut your threads. While using this foot takes a little practice, it can be mastered and makes sewing ruffles and gathers faster and easier. Our book, Professor Pincushion's Beginner Guide to Sewing, Garment Making for Nervous Newbies, is now available to order. Go to professorpincushion.com/books or click on the link in the description to see a list of vendors where you can purchase it.